It has come to my motherfucking goddamn gay attention that Monique has made a 2-hour and 30-minute long appearance on the Shannon Sharp Show. Ooh, that interview was long. Ooh, that shit was long, honey. Okay, we all love Monique. We all know Monique. I distinctively remember Monique from, well, I think. Baby, I love that show, and that was my first time bearing witness to the beautiful Monique, as well as the beautiful Countess Vaughn, too. And from that time period, of course, I consistently gave her flowers in comparison to Lizzo because I feel like Monique really and truly embodied being plus-size confident, especially after her hosting of the BET Awards one year when she pulled off a Beyonce-esque performance with a whole bunch of big girls. Now, that was big girl empowerment. And because I had that as an example of what that felt like, when I look at Lizzo, it felt to me, I'll quote Mr. Wiggins, Armand, and say that it felt like she's pandering. Okay, it did. But I kind of got a little bit of a different vibration after I saw her at the Grammys this year. So we'll see kind of how Lizzo develops. But that was my example, okay? She was also on the Queens of Comedy tour. I don't like stand-up personally. I told you guys that. So I didn't put a lot of stock into her stand-up career. But she's been around. She won an Oscar for Precious. I couldn't get through that movie. I couldn't get through it. I couldn't get through it. You know, wasn't she also in a movie where she was called a thick madame? Wasn't she a thick madame? Yeah. She was a thick madame as well. But we all know Monique for the controversy surrounding Hurley, Daniels, Tyler Perry, and a plethora of other industry people, D.L. Hughley included right now. Okay. And she's got a reputation of being a problem starter. And in this interview with Shannon Sharp, she basically broke it down as to every angle of the way that she feels she was treated in the industry. And she is eliciting her truth over some beautiful cognac that me and my producer will be drinking tonight on the Shannon Sharp Show. And again, that was just some of Monique's accolades. She has accolades as long as my dick is. No shade, okay?
It's upsetting me in my home, girl, because we feel like, well, damn, if you can't go to Boots,
so I know what you think, that I'm like skimping her. She deserves every piece of credibility. It's just I only have an hour to do this, and I still got to read my girl. So bear with me for paraphrasing. The interview, first of all, Shannon Sharp, I haven't watched you before until Cat Williams did his interview, and I guess you have opened up the place for extended interviews with people who might have something to say about the industry they're in. I actually am attracted to you, Shannon Sharp. And everybody knows my type is light-skinned, pretty in the face, and all of that, but it's something about his demeanor that draws me into not only the person you're interviewing, but you as an interviewer. And I don't know what kind of truth serum is in that motherfucking cognac, but I'm gonna find out tonight. You know, there's something very attractive about your essence, Mr. Sharp, and I like the banter with your guest. Monique said a lot of things, and I briefly spoke about what I feel about the things that she did say on the show, and I do have some questions that hopefully Spirit is going to allow me to answer. If you don't know what the story is, I mean, it's just so many details. Like, she fell out based upon an injustice that was happening in the industry, told to keep her mouth closed. She chose not to keep her mouth closed, and then ended up getting like blackballed and banished from future productions. T.S. Madison was involved with this. What I didn't know is that T.S. Madison actually made the call to Lee Daniels to mend their relationship. When I tell you, I will ride for T.S. Madison till the wheels fall off, bitch. Till the wheels fall off. Like, we've had a personal connection where she saved me from some bullshit, right? So the fact that T.S. Madison's getting her flowers in the way that she is, it is very much deserving. It is very, very much deserving. Very much deserving. Very much. And that's from personal experience with her, okay? But what I will say is that she ended up mending the relationship with Lee Daniels and starring in a movie called The Reading, ironically. Where she motherfucking goddamn killed it. Now, prior to that, she did a Netflix special, I think last year, where she admitted that she rode the slow bus. She admitted that she was in lower level learning in school. And I think that was a very brave move, but it also made... I don't know for you, but for me, it also made some things make sense in my mind about how she portrays herself. This is what I want to say. Monique has a gift, and that gift is called charisma. Monique has the ability to make you believe her and love her by just speaking to you. That is a gift. It's a spiritual gift called charisma. That's what that is. Okay? And to the untrained eye or lack of spiritual individuals, you won't be able to clock that she's actually manipulating you because she does it in a way that tells her truth or a truth she wants you to believe. Okay? So I'm not one to tell you if she's telling the truth or not, but what I am telling you is that I felt like I was being manipulated even though I bought into everything that she was saying. Like, she could be telling me that the sky is really red, and because she's saying it and looking you dead in your face and exuding a passion that will convince the common man, oh, this woman is a real victim. This woman is really, telling the truth. The sky is red. I've been learning wrong. It's a superpower, and I know a lot of us have it. I have it on a minute level, but I tend to present. I don't use that gift as much as I use my clairvoyance and things like that. As an oracle, we have all gifts. It's just a matter of which one we are working out at the time. I don't really work charisma that way because I'm not a manipulator. But when you are when a victim, a true victim of something has that gift, they're never going to be quiet about it. They're going to continuously use that gift to form an army against the people that she feels have victimized her. Okay? Do I feel like she told the 100% truth? I believe in her mind she did. She's a Sagittarius? I don't know what's going on with y'all Sagittarius right now because my mama's doing this shit too. Y'all are just letting the truth spew out of your mouths like an ejaculated penis that hadn't had none in the past 6 months. Me. So I'm watching it very objectively. I'm very entertained by Monique, but I've always been very entertained by Monique. Like that's what she does. She and as an entertainer, when you have the gift of charisma, you can win over any crowd. Any crowd. Any crowd. Now when I'm on a stage, I'm gonna turn that shit on. Like on the 24th of motherfucking February when I host my idol's birthday party, that charisma gift is gonna be turned all the way on. But because I operate in this space, using other gifts, I don't. But with Monique, to her benefit though, when you have the gift of charisma and you multiply that by passion, there's nothing you can't do. You can convince a Delta airline person to ignore the fact that you have just put 2 pounds of cocaine through the conveyor belt? I mean, this is a gift. You ever seen like niggas that girls fawn over, like in high school, like they have this essence about them? It's not that they dress better than the next nigga. It's not that they play basketball or something like that, but women just tend to, ooh, like, what is that? See, our juvenile selves can recognize this more than our conscious adult selves, right? So you'll find that they become womanizers because they're always getting people thrown at them, and they themselves, because they aren't educated on what they're capable of doing, they don't understand why the fuck all these bitches, it's always been easy for me to get girls. And the next thing you know, you don't use that gift. And what the Bible say? The Bible say you don't use a gift, God's gonna take it away. And next thing you know, you in your 30s with no teeth in your mouth trying to figure out where all the hoes done went. They have a gift. She is gifted. When she talks, it's almost as if I'm listening to a prophetess. You know how prophets, you know, people who prophesy over your life. I tell your future, I don't prophesy over your life. But there's a difference. And I know I'm getting really, really spiritual, but that's the only way I can talk to you about this, because I was just really entertained. It was long, but I was really, really entertained by what I bear witness to. I was just watching it, and it was good to see Monique, bro. Like, I miss you coming through my television every week on the Parkers. I do. I do. But apparently, again, Cat Williams opened it up with all this truth that he had from his perspective. Now, Cat don't have the... so look at the difference. Cat doesn't have the ability of charisma, right? But we were entertained to the point we bought into what he was saying. Monique is passionate about it, right? And her gift is peeking through on this interview. And you probably watched it and weren't skeptical about anything that she said. Nothing. That's the difference. But you can be an entertainer with or without the gift of charisma, is what I'm saying. Okay. I say that to say this. She spoke a lot of truth, though. There was a lot of stuff that was coming through her that I felt like, yeah. But then, objectively speaking and playing devil's advocate, yes, that's your truth, but you have a lot of instances where things didn't work out in your favor, sweetheart. I understand the truth of honoring a black man, and I love the point that you made when you said, why when you say a black man stand up with a black woman is a problem. Now that talks about the disenfranchisation of black families dealing with, that goes all the way back to when we got here off the boat, girl. So I definitely understand what you were talking about with that. So a lot of intellectual points were coming through as well. But if you got problems with all of these people, back to back to back, even though I'm convinced what you're saying is right and I want to rise up with you, the educated person in me is like, well, there's got to be a problem if these people are eating over you and you keep having these fallouts, right? Another part of me felt like, as I'm watching it, Monique too real for the game. She too real for the game. You're operating in a deceitful industry, trying to be just and righteous. Yes, they're going to throw you under the bus to save their own ass. Yes, that's just what they do. I had to learn that too, but she also made mention of, she's still, a part of her is that little girl who's just happy to be in the room. I can relate to that because I'm just happy to be in the room so much, so I'm about to ruin it for myself. Shit, I got to calm down, you know? And that little girl is just happy to, you know, be in connection with these people. But at the same time, the adult in you, bitch, we got adult bills. You know? And you mean to tell me you ran 55, you got $55K an episode of the Parkers for 20, whatever that breakdown was. I don't know it offhand or whatever, but it did sound like the girls were eating over you, right? I think I want to think, I want to believe that your personal experiences are given to you for you to be a adjudicator in the industry. But one of the points that you made that it really resonated with me is that there was another individual before Rosa Parks, right, that sat on that bus, but she got no attention because of the way that she looked. They needed an appropriated black girl to be that representative sitting on that motherfucking bus. And in this case, she compared it to her own journey, that being that of, she said all of what Taraji P. Henson said 10 years ago and got blackballed, and now Taraji P. Henson is saying it. Well, that's because she's fairer skinned. Because, look, That's not to be colorist, but the entertainment industry is like that. That's how it is. Monique, like she quote herself, as a fat black girl, your voice wasn't heard. But Taraji P. Henson, almost light-skinned black girl, you know what I'm saying, crying, emotional about it. Not assertive like Monique was, right? She's assertive about it, right? But broken about it. That's okay. That's when it comes out. But see, in order to change a system, you have to disrupt the system. And I feel like that's what Monique is doing based upon her experiences, right? I'll also say this. There's two sides to every story, but my heart is, my Anahata chakra feels you, Monique. I feel like you have conviction with every fucking thing that you say. Everything that you say. The me that's breaking into the industry, I see how it's set up to where you're going to lose. I turned down major deals because they want to own my soul. Like, and they can't have me. They can't have me. It's like, and here recently, I recently turned down a contract at a very prominent studio because the way that it was written, it said that we're going to do this movie around you, right? And mind you, something that she said too, when you have been hand selected for something, why the hell should you have to audition? Well, they put together a whole situation around your mother, right? Go in there, the contract saying, right, they're talking about they want to own 37% of what I do outside of the production. Well, that's basically, I don't have no kids. I don't have no spouse. You're basically trying to enslave me. So I get it. I get it. I get it. But my discernment go off. You know what I'm saying? It go off. I be like, something don't feel right. Something don't sound right. And even though I'm turning down a big-ass deal, I'd rather service these girls than for you to put me in a room with chains on me just waving at people on a mass scale. You know what I'm saying? I wanted fame as bad as Monique wanted it. I did. But as social media began to rise, I got it simply by broadcasting not only my spirituality, but myself. And for that, I have to thank goddamn, who made Instagram? Mark Zuckerberg? Mark Zuckerberg. Because if it wasn't for this, I would have been swallowed up.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Okay. Again, just me watching it, I'm skeptical how it, like, the truth behind everything that you say. But I do feel you, and I do support you, and I will stand by you because you're like me. We're lewd disruptors. We're loud. We're vocal. We speak truth, but it's hard to speak truth in an industry full of lies. I'll say it again. It's hard to speak truth in an industry full of lies. And one thing about somebody who believes what they're saying, they always will have receipts. Always. I didn't even know there was a recorded conversation about Tyler Perry admitting that he threw her under the bus. I didn't know that. I haven't followed her that much. I follow the things that she does, but I haven't followed all the entanglements and the drama and stuff like that. I just didn't know about the bulk of it. But again, this interview was long. I hope this reading is not going to be as long. If you have any questions about what Monique spoke about, please drop them in the comment section. I'm going to ask a few questions on my behalf first, but I do need to see other questions because it was so long. I don't even know what the fuck to ask. But what I will say is, I feel you. I see your gift. I'm not convinced everything that you said was not from a victim perspective, but I support you regardless, not only because of your resume, but because 16 to 21-year-old Brandon sat back and watched the motherfucking Parkers, and I saw you. And I saw the work you put in. And I saw the Oscar nomination. I saw what happened after that. I'm rocking with you whether you're right or wrong. Let's be clear. I'm rocking with you whether you're right or wrong. I just feel manipulated by your gift of charisma. And that's not your fault. That's who you are, right? But I, when I'm watching it, I'm entertained. One, two, I'm skeptical because you have so many repeated instances. But that's what happens when you in an industry full of lies and you're a real ass nigga. You're always gonna have instances because it's an industry full of lies, right? And then I also, intellectually speaking, I mean, you like 5 for 6, bitch. Everybody you done fell out with, goddamn, they're not speaking on you, and they could be wrong, but they're playing the game the right way. I mean, this a game, bro. This a game of Monopoly, and you can't expect everybody to just play fair. It's social Darwinism, and I think the uproar about what you're saying is the fact that social Darwinism should not exist in the entertainment industry. But it does. And as, like you claimed, a fat black girl, you have been ordained with the task of rectification. And I think you're doing a great job. I think you're doing But enough about that. Let's break this down and see what's to go on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's the breakdown?
Let me hear you scream.
All right, so first, Spirit, can I read this? This is saying it would be wise to read it. Okay, my first question. From Monique's perspective, did everything she spoke of, was it truthful? Ooh. From her perspective, it's truthful, but she also has a gift of believing her own lies. Y'all met somebody like that. You could experience something with somebody and they are repeating the story in a different way, even incorporating you into the story. You know, she was there, she can validate, and I'm like, girl, were we at the same motherfucking event? Bitch, that's not how that went down. So the answer is yes, she believes what she's saying to be truth, but I also feel like in the moment she reconstructs the truth to fit her own narrative. And then you combine that with the gift of charisma. I mean, yeah, you got people that are going to believe everything that you're saying. Either way, I still stand with you, Monique, okay? Just know that. I'm just reading what the cards say. The Light Chief card also shows up upright. This is talking about giving too much power to someone else. Is this her husband that we're referring to? It is not. I feel like one of her issues is she consistently puts stock into people that are supposed to have her back, but are indeed working in the industry. Okay, so I do feel like your husband is a stand-up guy and really does have your best interest at heart. No matter if they're saying that, you know, your relationship is, you know, why is he involved, why X, Y, and Z. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly when I say, if I had a spouse and I call that spouse daddy and I am honoring the traditional relationship aspects of a man being the head of a household and the woman being submissive, like, you know, that's how some people believe, then I definitely will defend that on you. But I feel like you and your husband, hybrid shows up upright. This is not just you. This is you and your husband. Y'all are putting stock into people that you develop rapport with, but their allegiance is not to you. Their allegiance is not to what's right. Their allegiance is to themselves and their money. So what you do, Monique, is you disrupt them. You make them choose between what's right and what's greed. And when you are that in the industry, you're going to choose greed every time. You're going to choose greed every time. They will throw your ass under the motherfucking bus for the sake of what they are doing. And the little girl in you is hurt by that. And a part of me wanted to tell the grown-up in you, well, damn, bitch, haven't you learned yet? Like, what the fuck? Their allegiance isn't to a culture. It isn't to a race. It isn't to, oh my God, we black people, we supposed to stand together. Their allegiance is to the green on this card. Nepenthes. God syndrome. This is a God in my tarot deck. They're dedicated to that. Okay? Because just like you, at one point in time, they didn't have it. Okay? Just like I don't have my hat no more. So if it is indeed a choice between you or them going back to the hood and them getting blackballed, oh, they're going to choose themselves every time. I just feel like we should have known that prior to all of these instances that you have had happen to you. Because at a certain point, it becomes victimization, right? Your questions. I'm good. I'm at the point now where I'm still gonna give her my vote. That's the kind of girl I would stand with, even if she wrong. Like that's, you know. I would stand with. I mean, because her gift of charisma, it makes you do it. Like you know, I would stand with her. Is Oprah jealous of her? Like she said. One moment. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, it's so interesting. I went back and I watched a particular video with a friend of, an old friend of mine, and we were at Kaylani's house, and Ari Lennox was there, and in the video, her face, it told it all. And I feel like during that part of the interview when she said her husband saw Oprah's face and how the girls were cheering for you, I indeed do feel like Oprah was jealous. Let's take that a step further. Did Oprah really stop her bag and participate in roles that were designated to Monique because of that? Definitely. That'd piss me off. Yeah. And like Monique said, she's an entertainer. You basically took food out of my mouth just because you were jealous of another black girl. But this is the same thing that happens in the gay community. If you've ever gotten two flamboyant gay people in the same room, they compete for reasons. That's what they do. We compete for attention. We compete. Well, this was in my juvenile days when I was younger, you know. But we compete for attention. We compete for likes. We compete to be the most popular. We compete to be the most well-renowned. But that is social Darwinism. You get two identifiable creatures that have something similar in common based upon aesthetic or whatever the fuck. You put them in a room full of people who aren't like them. They're automatically going to compete. The natural thing to do is not to say, oh, who are you? Okay? Now, me, I walked up to you and I asked you, who are you? Because I felt like you was competing with me. So I do feel like Usher is performing at the Super Bowl on Sunday. You guys watch it. I'm supposed to teach a class on Sunday, but it might be Monday because I'm trying to be at somebody's drunk white college football party. Okay? Class might be on Monday. But this is the last day that you can sign up for class using code LEARN to take 50% off. Okay? Will Oprah get karma? Why? Nope. You have no soul. You didn't hear that from me? Do you ever pull cards with your conspiracy theories? Yes, darling. Watch the fucking show. But we're asking about Monique right now. I'm still waiting for... I get one more question on Monique. One more question on Monique, and then we got to move on. One more question. The time is ticking, bitch. The time is ticking, bitch. The time is ticking, bitch. It ain't no point in pulling cards on Tyler Perry because she recorded a whole goddamn phone conversation. And it's crazy because even though he was caught red-handed, advertised of throwing her under the bus, he still got the power. That's how you know. Is DL jealous of her? Bootz shows up upright. He is not. Did D.L. Hughley really pull the segment that Monique claimed when he asked about fucking somebody or whatever the fuck? He did. Ivy Iverson showed up. So yeah, he did pull the statement because Monique wasn't comfortable about it. Again, that goes back to the version of her I feel like exaggerates things with charisma that makes us buy into what she's saying. Well, Tyler apologized. Not right now. Not right now. Did Mo lie on DL? No, but her truth is no. From her perspective, no. From DL's Hughley perspective, damn, he feels caught red-handed. So I'm going to go ahead and say no, she did not. Who blew up the trailer? Oh, my God. That was the funniest. Oh, my God. I was actually supposed to have this up here. It was a part of the interview where she talked about... She was something. I gotta pull this shit up. I'm sorry. It is so fucking funny. She basically was suggesting that the conditions on some of these sets are not up to par. Taraji P. Henson spoke of, I guess she said like a bug infestation in some of her trailers. And basically, Monique said it was worse. Somebody came in there and asked her assistant why she got her shoes off in her trailer. Which, first of all, you don't do that. Second of all, she said her conditions were so bad. Here, this is what she said. Hopefully I got the right timing.
I'm going to do a standby and watch you give a direction after the director gives us a direction. It confuses the cast and it's disrespectful. And to that black man's credit, his eyes filled up with water and he said, I appreciate you for having this conversation with me. Okay? So, Wolfpack and I are now at odds because I'm seeing how the assistant at the time, her mother, up artist and my assistant, I am the head nigga in charge. Trailers blew up. Food is bad. Like, what we doing here? The food was slop. So when they say they didn't have any food, the food we had, nobody ever ate that food because it was just like you can feed them anything. Now here's where it gets even better. Remember how Taraji said the trailers were infested?
Yes.
Our trailers blew up.
That's not funny. That's not funny. Hold on, let's keep listening.
They blew up. Now, when
she said that, the way Shannon Sharp sat back in his chair, he said they blew up.
Whenever this airs, I'm gonna post the trailers blowing up so that people can see.
Right.
But they blew up, and if any of us were in those trailers, we would have been gone.
Right.
The trailers blew up. Now, when I was smelling the gas, we went to the brothers that was hooking up the trailers and we said, hey, we smell gas. They said, Mo, we let him know, talking about the head nigga in charge. We let him know. He just said, okay, and walked away. I said, he what? He just said, okay, and walked away. The trailers blew up. Did Will have to reach out to anybody?
That's not funny. It's not funny. I'm sorry, but when anybody says it blew up, like I bust out laughing. I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know. The word blew up. Have you ever been blued up? Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Who blew up the trailers? Staff? This was improper equipment. At least that's what they told me when I got that speeding ticket. The trailer hooker-uppers, bitch. I mean, this doesn't fall on the behest of whoever the head nigga in charge was. But if you are the head nigga in charge and I complain saying I smell gas in my trailer and my trailer blow up when I'm on set, I mean, there's a problem there. I'm done with Monique. Monique, I love you. I love you. I love you. It's good to see you. It's I'm glad you're talking, and what I'll say is that 2024 in pop culture, it must be the year of the revival of entertainment because I haven't had a bored day yet. We're dealing with pop culture, okay? I don't know if it's been a 4-year-long cocooning period after the pandemic or what, but I am thoroughly entertained.